Woohoo! All right. Let's get our peeps up. Let's see if which one we're on. Oh, I just got your text, Keith. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's about all you can say about that. Yeah.
Poor thing. All right.
Man, Solana's been on a bear tear, huh?
Yeah.
Good
163.
Lord.
It's up 20 something percent today.
Good Lord.
Or 22 on, is it? Yeah, it went up from 135, I think. 14% today. In 24 hours.
I tell you guys, I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks and months, and we've all been saying, deadest week of the year, Labor Day, kids back to school, things will be quiet, blah, blah, blah. Man, happy to be so wrong. I mean, goodness gracious, like what a rip the market's been on. God bless.
Yeah. CDM, we're here. Hey, yeah. All right, people are here. All right, let's do this. We got 3 people on.
On a Labor Day.
On the Labor Day, exactly. And we're the 3 and CDM.
We're the troopers.
CDM. Sheriff's here. Nerds.
That is true.
Yep.
I feel bad for you, Joe. Well, okay, you can do the
Go ahead. No, do it.
Labor Day blues. I felt bad, man, when Biddy hit 50 and then just kept going. I really wanted it to be during one of our shows just to give you that moment.
Yeah. Right. I want to hit that mark during the show. Wait for it.
Yeah, Dallas, how'd you know, man? The ribs are out of the pool, and now we're streaming. Now we're crypto streaming.
Yep. All right, guys, you ready to do this? Crypto Chat Live.
Born ready.
Here in this box, Shaun in the middle, Hollywood Squares, and Keith, and the rest of our crew, Sheriff, CDM. The rest of the crew, we're still waiting for Dallas. Oh, Dallas is there. All right. What do we got here? Okay, Bitcoin. We've hit 52, almost going to hit 53, maybe hit 53 before the end of the show. Things are starting to move. But it's Bitcoin seems like it's pulling away a little bit today compared to Ethereum is bouncing around. Maybe people are starting to take some profits. This is the highest Bitcoin's been since May. $80 billion has been added to the market in the last 24 hours. We're at a 2.3 trillion market cap. ETH has went up 22% in the week, and Solana again 14% on the day, and like 20-something% on the week. Shaun, you said it was going to bounce around slow for the next couple weeks because everybody was in school, but it's back in action. It seems like.
Yeah, took off well. I did see that some people were back in school already. I've seen the school buses driving around, but I didn't think that anything was going to happen until Labor Day. That I'm wrong, but I think there's probably some clearing some of the regulatory issues, and you haven't had any horrible news at all recently, so no news is good news.
True. Yeah. Keith, are you surprised? Looks like it's moving back in action.
Yeah, forward. Man, I got to tell you, it exceeded my my optimistic expectation because I agree with Shaun. I thought it was going to be a dog of a week. I thought the market was going to go to sleep, and then we'll see you in early September. And happy wrong. It just kept going and going and going. And I know we've all been fixated on Bitcoin 50K, but I think we should shine a light on Ethereum 4K, right? I remember when God, it feels like 5 minutes ago, Shaun and I were laughing and talking about getting into Ethereum, and it was like 450, and that was like, oh my God, it ran all the way up to $450. That's just crazy, And then here we are, knocking on 4,000's door. That's just remarkable. And also, too, guys, I think, Joe, you pointed this out previously, too. There's a whole lot of, Bitcoin 100K calls out there. So there's a lot of big players with, high price targets. And let's be honest, there's only 3.5 months left in this year. And if it were to rally to one of those points, and, 100K is even low compared to some of the other calls we've seen, it's still a straight double in 4 months. So there's a lot of road. So if Bitcoin is going to get there, it kind of does need to start moving.
At the same time, it's not like December is the end of the show. I just don't expect crypto winter to really happen again the way you have institutional money and everything. And I feel like it's that's not going back to the 80% down ever again.
No, and CDM just called you on that. He just, I was like, underline exclamation point. It is true. Now that you have that institutional money that acts like a floor, right? So it's going to kind of limit a little bit of that downside exposure.
Like I said, I went into my eToro account today after like 4 months of not being in there. You can't even buy Bitcoin anymore.
Wow.
So it's kind of showing the sign it's getting harder to get.
No, it's
Shaun,
exciting stuff all around.
What kind of wine are you drinking today, Shaun?
A white Bordeaux.
Okay.
Yeah, very dry. Eases my mind while I'm programming C++ Unreal Engine stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, where were we? I get messed it up with the whole wine thing.
No, that's okay. Hey, and Joe, I want to apologize. I had to kick Vitalik out of my chair because I kind of needed it back.
Yes.
But it was good that he was able to pinch hit for me on Friday. I thanked him.
Yes. I teased Keith for not being here on Friday.
Sorry, everybody.
A picture of Vitalik in place of him. Yeah, I can't pull it up. I wish you could. So anyway, I think everybody's kind of tired today. You've been in the pool. Everybody's kind of winding down. Everybody's a little slow.
It was Labor Day, my friend. This is,
a busy day.
That's right.
This is a nice quiet day. I got a lot of programming done, so.
Oh, good.
A lot of progress. Yeah.
We'll wait for a little bit more of the crowd to get in here. We can talk about what you've done and some of the updates with Dynamo. I want to jump into the NFL thing, which I think is interesting. So the NFL imposes a ban on teams and players from crypto-related business practices until further notice that can be basically they're saying that until they figure out how they're going to deal with crypto, they don't want anybody in the league dealing with crypto. I don't know how this is going to, with Tom Brady having his own, NFT company, I don't know how that's going to work. And you have that one player that's getting paid in Bitcoin. So I guess they're grandfathered in, but fascinating. You guys.
I think this is the fear of disintermediation, right? When you have people that can sell NFTs and go around the NFL's money machine, of course they're gonna clamp down on it. So this is them realizing that decentralized is not really in their best interest, and they're gonna put an end to it. So doesn't surprise me. This is how they make money, is selling all those sponsorships. So
as the NFL's statement here is, the clubs are prohibited from selling or otherwise allowing within club control media advertisements for specific cryptocurrencies, initial coin offerings, and cryptocurrency sales. So it seems like they're giving a little bit of loophole for a couple of their stars like Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I mean, don't you think, guys, that to a certain extent, that's just like a huge bullseye for the lawyers? I mean, I can appreciate on a certain level, yes, they may want to protect their vested interest, as Shaun indicated. So if they did want to ring fence content that might be competitive, I could sort of see my way clear there. It would be little difference than other anti-competitive clauses and contracts, but to carte blanche, lump all cryptocurrencies together and ban investment or participation in an entire asset class, That I think that's a bit of an overreach. I don't think you could ever pull that off. I don't think anybody's going to inspect somebody's portfolio to see if they're investing in, some other franchise. That's tricky. I think they're going to have a lot of pushback on that one.
There's a difference when you sign a contract with professional sports, the team owns you. They even own your name, so you don't even make money. If the back of the jersey says your name on it, you don't make $1 from it. Like, the team owns your name and owns your life, basically. So it's a whole different the way contracts are like created in professional sports.
Yeah, I think it's the sponsorship thing, right? Like if I was in the NFL and then I went and bought a McDonald's franchise and then I wanted to say, McDonald's is great and I'm Fred Jones from such and such football team, I'm prohibited from doing that. I can't use. I think what they're saying is, you as a football player can't promote Dogecoin and say you're sponsoring it or whatever else. That's what they're trying to control. But yeah, from prohibiting from investing in an asset class and promoting an asset class, that's a problem. Like, what if they said, well, you can't invest in real estate, right? Like, you wouldn't say that. You can't buy a house, you can't buy a condo, you can't buy apartment buildings like that. That. So yeah, there's going to be some falling out here, I think.
Yeah, and I think to Shaun's point, again, I come back, it feels like a bit of overreach, like what you do. I agree with what you're saying, Joe. I hear you, but your money's your money. Right. If you wanted to buy Bitcoin, what does the NFL have any role or right to play in if you wanted to buy Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're right. It's just that's what the NFL does. They have the attitude, you're lucky to be here, and we could take you out of the league in a second and find somebody else. Yep. The NFL is the most controlling of all the professional sports. You guys get fined if the towel on their pants is too long.
Yeah, very strange. Very strange. Like I said, I'm sure there'll be legal challenges galore to that one. Again, within a certain context, okay, fair ball. But this one feels like a bit of an overreach.
Yeah.
Yep. And as Bitcoin hits 52,000, heading to 53, El Salvador officially purchased their first 200 Bitcoin. And there's some surveys that are saying that half the country's citizens are really upset and want the law overturned. Although, you would think, well, we like cryptocurrency, that, that it may be better for the country than their own national money. It just seems like there's going to be a little battle now that it's real.
Yeah, man, I think the battle lines are going to follow the price of Bitcoin, right? If it goes up, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people fighting in the streets. And if it tanks, okay, citizens might be a little unhappy with that. So I think that's pretty binary, my assessment of the situation.
You think this is going to help them now that it's in? I guess the market boosted a little bit today.
Yeah.
It's the first country to make it official.
I don't think 200 Bitcoin is going to move the needle in terms of price, but this is more good news. But yeah, the people who are actually using it, I think they're experiencing, that Bitcoin is not a transactional currency, and it's not really crypto as it's meant to be. It's very centralized, and so. I think they're starting to see what the real thing is instead of just saying, oh, it's Bitcoin, right? This is about remittances and nothing else, right? Trying to cut out all the middlemen that charge a fee of the money that's coming into El Salvador from the United States. That's all it's about. I don't think the common person is going to really benefit from this.
Yeah. Should we? I was waiting for a crowd to get a little bit bigger. We get to start talking about the Dynamo update and what you've done. Maybe we should go to that.
Yeah, it's
kind of a little day with the holiday.
Yeah, quiet.
You want to hit up with it, or?
Sure.
Okay.
So we launched the swap. I posted a video early this morning. Went live at about 2 a.m. Eastern. And I sat around and watched it for a couple hours. A couple people did some swaps on it. Everything seems to be going well. Part of launching the swap involved the Binance Smart Chain token. So we've created wrapped Dynamo. The swap from Dynamo to wrapped Dynamo is 1-for-1. It can be done in the web wallet. which is posted in the Discord. We had some, as you can see, some pretty good price action for the first day on PancakeSwap. I did create a small liquidity pool with 30,000 tokens at 10 cents each, and so we've had about $1,000 of activity so far today, and I've seen about, I don't know, 10 swaps happen through the wallet. So people are actually using it. Now, I think obviously once we complete the game development and offer characters and land for sale, there'll be a substantial increase in the volume, which is really what we're trying to create. Right? So
just making it easier for people to access for the game.
Making it people easier to get Dynamo, particularly outside of the United States, and particularly small dollar amounts, which PancakeSwap is very good to do.
And Shaun, yeah, I think to your point, like we have seen more activity and volume in the coin in the last 24 hours than we've seen in a little while, or we've seen a good healthy boost. So I think everything you said, you know, the theory is kind of being borne out in actuality. So I think that's a good thing.
Yep. We've got you know, a few small sort of organic social, ads that we've sent out, but nothing serious yet. I think once we get the first tech demo of the game with some screenshots from that, then we can really do some advertising. And I think at that point we'll see some good adoption. I have decided, I did complete the I call it the foundation code for the game to create a wallet inside the game. So everybody who runs the game client will get their own wallet. So that's going to create more wallets for sure. And as you play the game, it will pay the Dynamo directly into the wallet that's in your game. And then I'll build a function to do a send or a swap in the game. So you won't have to use the web wallet at all. You can just use the in-game function. And really all it is wrapping the web wallet inside the game and exposing some of the functions there. So it'll be completely seamless to the user.
That'll be cool. That'll be really, really cool.
Yeah. So I'll finish all of that tonight. The technical part of the implementation of paying the wallet and sending the coins and swapping the coins. That'll all be done tonight. And then we'll start to work on some of the user interface pieces, like showing how can I buy a character and how can I buy land and stuff like that, and working on actually paying Dynamo in exchange for the characters of the land.
Dayless,
awesome.
Is that Dayless and Sheriff?
Yeah.
They actually bought into a little bit of it, huh? Is that what you got? Yep, good. I tried to jump in and listen to a little DJ session on Friday. My first DJ session.
First and last.
Yep. Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of a quiet night.
It's a holiday.
Slow crowd.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll build up.
It's tough to find some news on some of these days. It's just a slow day some days.
Mm.
Talk about the same stuff all the time. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna call out Necrodalis here. I do think, and I don't know if you all put the call out during the last one, but we do need to socialize some game names. So I would welcome if the community, either on this live stream or future live streams or in Discord or wherever you want to chat with us, but welcome your thoughts and ideas. I think the community has been very creative thus far, and be very keen to hear what they have to say about potential names for the game. Yeah,
very, very important that we get branding, in the next week or so, because we want to launch a website specific to the game. We'll probably post some leaderboards there and stuff like that, and overall statistics, and we can then start to do some SEO and banner ads and all those kind of things, because we don't want to put the Dynamo main website up as the thing. We want the game to be its own standalone entity, and then it's going to need a name, it's going to need a domain, and it needs optimization around all of that. So so getting a game name is going to be really important.
What would be the goal here we go. Vincent, what would be the goal mission for the game? May help with thinking about the names.
I mean, it's play to earn. So you generally engage in combat and crafting and so on, in order to collect tokens as rewards that you redeem for Dynamo. So Warcraft, right? That's a great name because it involves the two things that you do in that game. Minecraft is another sort of variation of that. Yeah, I don't know. I often think about having names that are very unique because first of all, it's easy to get the domain name, and it really differentiates you from other things. I actually thought Dynamo Coin was really different, but unfortunately, there's some magic trick that involves a Dynamo Coin. It's
Yeah.
there's some confusion. So you want to figure out a name that's like really unique. And I'll tell you, a game that did that really well is called Genshin Impact. Like it's just this totally random thing, but there's nothing like it, right? It's just totally out there. And so if you could think of two words that you put together that that you have the domain and you can register, just purple leopard or whatever, right? Like just think of two words that sort of sum up what you want to do and are very unique, that you can put a cool logo on it and the domain's available. That's the best thing, right? Like just way out there where you are going to be Google #1 result because there's nothing else out there.
Yeah, like Axie Infinity, right? What the heck is an Axie Infinity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. That's it. That's perfect.
Are we saving some princess or just protecting our lands or fighting for more lands, invasion and such? CDM.
I think, people often borrow from the literary tropes of things like Pocahontas or Sleeping Beauty, or these very traditional rich storylines. So we could probably do something like that. Just pick a Romeo and Juliet or whatever else, make that story, create some characters, and then name it that. You could do something like that.
Here's another
one.
The
storyline is important. I think actually that's one of the things that I thought would be interesting was creating a quest storyline that you can play just completely by yourself and earn tokens as you play along. Angry Birds Epic had that, so I think that's something that was very engaging for people, and you could do the same kind of thing.
Blood Force. I'll jump in. I was
Coin Quest. I like that.
Yeah, Coin Quest. That's valid. Well, because we're trying to, market to the Philippines first, right? So here's my 2 cents pitch. What's going on there, man? They're gonna beat anything I bring up now.
Yeah, totally.
Not even a try. So the other day I was thinking we're pitching to the Philippines, like that's the market we're trying to hit. And I think of Dungeons and Dragons and that whole like mythical arena. So why not? Here's my pitch. Go to find Filipino mythical creatures and try to figure out some of those names.
Oh.
Yeah, that looks scary.
That is pretty scary.
Blang. Look at that.
Scarier.
Evil baby. Maybe it's a bad idea.
Yeah, we want people to play the game, Joe, not be scared away by it.
I was just thinking, I had the Dungeons and Dragons feel and everything, so I was trying to find some mythical creatures that were from the Philippines, and I thought maybe that may make it unique and different. That was my explore that. That was my elevator pitch at the end.
Yeah, and you could grab some of the names. They're not going to be copyrighted, and if it was two names and you put a story around it and then it's blank and blank or whatever, that works. You end up with like this Genshin Impact kind of name that's tied into the story of your game, but has uniqueness.
I think this evil baby.
Evil baby. That's good cover art too.
Evil baby that takes over this mythical world. Tiank is a man-eating earth creature. All right. I'm scaring everybody away.
Exactly. And all the participants are gone.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have lots of mythical creatures. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to find some cool mythical creatures maybe of the area.
Right.
Oh, I didn't say it right. Tianka. Tianka? Tianka. There we go.
Tianak.
Tianak. Has some lore, might help to have a direction with the characters and name conversations, a multiverse. Yes. Leave a lot of room for various side
Mm-hmm.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to think about, like, are you going to do the typical King Arthur, English, Irish lore with swords and dragons and stuff like that, or are you going to do something else? I don't, most of the stock assets that we have are of that kind of genre where it's very, 1600s England kind of thing, with thatched huts and pottery and that sort of stuff. So it's hard to make a game around something that's not that, unless we're going to create all of our own assets. So we have to be a little bit mindful of that. I think we want to probably have our own assets created eventually, but in order to get this thing out like in the next 5 years, we have to use somebody else's assets. So,
well, that's what I was thinking. How do you get those mythical assets and have that folklorish time? And that's what I was trying to think of, maybe kind of bringing that in.
Yeah, I mean, some of these things may be available on marketplaces as pre-made assets, and so we could figure out some of that stuff. But for the tech demo, I'm just going to use whatever I can find on XMO and whatever I have.
I'm just having fun trying to find ideas.
Yep.
King Arthur meets Halo. That's creative.
Mm-hmm.
Chupacabra and the Chancla.
I think you have to be able to pronounce it. Like, it should be pretty easy to pronounce.
Heard Pinegraph is going to be a bard traveling from tavern to tavern.
Instead of like a little guitar, he's got like the turntables.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. This is what we need. We need the creative little ideas.
Yeah, I had thought. I mean, if you see some of the initial papers that I put together on the game, I did talk about a loose storyline and some kind of quest that people can run through. So I think that could work and help to form the name of the game and some of the.
I like the whole Puncraft just going from bar to bar.
So, Shaun, is it going to be like player versus player, or is it going to be just like single player versus?
You can't do that on this, right?
It's it's always single player, even with things like Final Fantasy Online or Angry Birds Epic, which was a networked game, but and they had player versus player, but really the player versus player is randomly selected. Even think about like Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans is the same thing, right? But you didn't play against another player, really, right? You attacked them, but they didn't interactively defend themselves. It was all their motions were all computer generated. So it would be the same kind of thing where you could play in a quote unquote arena and rank up and that kind of stuff, but you would be playing against another player's characters, but those characters would be controlled by the computer still. This is not like an interactive real-time MMO. We could do that, but I think that the current game landscape is much more focused on this turn-based combat, and so I want to explore that before we go try to explore an MMO. We could build an MMO too, but I think turn-based combat is probably the way to go for now.
Yeah.
Cool.
And CDM said, with the look and initial character and the previews of the dragon, it created an impression that you're protecting your land and getting missions from time to time, like go to a necro lab. And Necro's in everything in this. So much to learn.
It's like quantum in Marvel movies, right? Just quantum in front of anything.
That's an interesting theory, right? So there's always the whole, protecting your land from invaders kind of thing. Yeah. That's what, this is where, typically professional story writers will come in and create a whole, overarching quest and characters and all the interactions and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to have the benefit of that, so we'll do the best we can.
Let's see what else was Punkcraft just said.
Have either of you guys played Axie Infinity yet? It's been on my to-do list. I have not, I will admit.
I haven't had time.
Yeah, I watched YouTube videos of the gameplay.
Okay.
It's very basic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very rudimentary. I mean, it literally cost $1,500 to play, so I didn't really want to shell out the money. But it's a copy of Angry Birds Epic. It's just
really
it's that whole Pokemon genre. Very, very simple. Yeah.
I know that other hot one right now looks like Donkey Kong. Everybody knows the name.
Crypto Blades?
Crypto Blades. Yeah, looks a lot like that original Donkey Kong going up the ladder.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And there's another one that's coming out, or maybe already published, called Myst, which is it's a little bit more of a first-person thing, but the graphics are super cheesy. So, yeah.
Well, it's easier to make, right? Cheesy graphics.
Yep.
Can you put a GPS pedometer on it? He needs to learn. He needs to lose about 30 pounds.
Walk to earn.
Got paywalled out of it pretty quick. Dynamo mobile edition. Walk around and find NFTs and capture them.
Yeah.
Dynamo. There you go.
So this Pokemon Go was a huge hit with people, but they couldn't figure out their financials. So I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Augmented reality, chasing something.
It was a hot hit for a while. I remember doing news stories in Atlanta about it. People walking around, business complexes after hours like zombies.
Yeah.
Cops just knew, they're just playing Pokemon. They're not breaking in. 150 people walking around a vacant office complex at 10 o'clock at night.
I'm trying to capture the rare one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good night, Dallas.
Yep. Squishmallow.
Oh my lord.
Sooner or later there'll be a Squishmallow version. All right. I don't know. You guys, anything else? I think we're all dragging tonight.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, that was a good little burst. It was good fun.
Yeah, we gotta get a name in the story. We gotta think about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we gotta go along in the context that we're using those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just putting a storyline. You're allowed to change the names, though, right? Changing the names is easy, or that comes with the characters.
Yeah, no. The names I gave, I just took off of what Mixamo had assigned them originally. But yeah, we can change it, whatever. Yeah.
Can we call one Necro Keith?
I like that. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, we have to have a Shaun character in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could be like the magician or something like that, magical, or a robot. All right, get those ribs, Dallas. All right. Anything else, guys? Keith looks like he's ready for dinner and a nap.
Yeah, that's right. In that order.
Yep.
Shaun will go back to programming because he's not human. He's a robot. Necro Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ew, no.
Night pun.
All right. We'll say goodbye to everybody.
Wednesday.
We'll do a little tech demo. We'll buy some characters online. It'll be fun.